Ryan Reynolds got in disguise as Deadpool in a gray Deadpool suit, and not only
It was denim. It wasn't gray. It was denim.
Oh, denim?
It just didn't show up well. That's why he was joking. It was a Canadian tuxedo. It was full denim.
That's
it. And the crazies are saying Jean Grey confirmation.
Yeah.
Did you just make that up? Hey everybody, welcome to Nerdy and Nice. We are back from an exhaustive trip at San Diego. The three of us were there. You probably saw us all over Hall H. No, we did not go to San Diego, but other people did. And we're here to talk about what happened at San Diego Comic-Con. Plus, we're going to discuss the Avengers Doomsday trailer. We have some Tom Cruise, another Tom Cruise story that we're going to get into. Involving a legacy sequel. So he's getting into that era after he wins that Oscar. James, Lacey, how are you guys doing?
Doing good. Had a long weekend.
Yeah, my weekend, let me tell you, we went to Kathleen's friends Saturday. We were there all day, kids. So there were kids everywhere, and we were there all day, all night. And then this morning I had to wake up, go to softball, played 2 games, hit 2 home runs, just absolute monster blasts, by the way. But I am like, the weekend went like that, and I'm so cooked. Like, but what are you gonna do? Summertime, I swear. Lacey, what did you do this weekend? Anything fun? Any gardening?
I mean, I like water. So I've been like battling with this deer for several weeks now.
Not literally, but
no, like kind of literally, because it keeps eating stuff. So I like tried a bunch of different things, and then I got this like stuff called Deer Stopper, and it stopped eating some of my plants and then ate the tips of the flowers off on some of my plants. Like it didn't eat the main part. So I was like outside like, ah, because like again, it's like I didn't spray the tips of all the flowers.
Yeah,
so I have never seen this deer, but we have cameras on our house, and Matt catches it walking around the house eating stuff. So last night we were watching TV, and Matt gets an alert on his phone, and he's like, "It's out there." And I like open the back patio, and I'm like, "You get out of here!" And the thing like looks at me, and it has a big like antlers because it's a boy deer.
Oh
and there was a split second I was like, this thing could charge at me. Because like
was it white? Because it might have been Harry's Patronus. I'm not sure.
It was not. It was brown.
Okay, all right, normal deer.
So there was a split second that I was like, this thing, because it looked at me like, "You sure you want to do that?" And I was like, "Get out of my," because like I planted a wildflower garden this year in my yard, and it was in there, and I was like, "Get out of there," and it didn't come back. So I'm hoping I scared it enough that like it knows like don't come here. But probably not. Probably not.
Well, good luck. By the way, we don't.
That was my weekend, by the way.
I mean, I hope you did other things that weren't just getting into scuffles with deer. But
I set up a shelf and kept potty training my son. That was my weekend.
Right, that mom life. All right, on. James, you and I talked briefly off air, but you went to.
So she's more pooped than we are.
Literally.
Yep. James, you camped out on a baseball field with the fam. That sounds like you had a good time.
You camped? Like in a tent?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, so Friday night we had tickets to our local like baseball team or whatever. And then so we go to the game, but also my wife's doing Celtic Fest. It's her event. So it's like the whole city is like going to the Celtic Festival. So she's doing that, and it's right across the street from the stadium. So it's like, so we were just doing lots of stuff in that area, but you go to the game and then you leave and go get your stuff, and then you come back in, and we slept overnight at the in the stadium or whatever, in the outfield.
That's with cool. A bunch of people.
Then, yeah, it was like a lot of people. Like it was like Boy Scout night or Scout night or whatever. So there was I don't know if I had to guess it, I'd say like there were 100 tents.
That's wild. Yeah. Doesn't that mess up the baseball field?
You're not allowed to put stakes in the ground or have chairs.
That's what I was going to say. Okay. So it's like a tent, but not stake. How does that work?
You don't have to stake a tent down. Staking a tent down is just for the wind.
So if it got windy, you were all kind of in trouble.
That's it. Yeah.
That would have been it. We would have been done. So. No, I don't know. I mean, we're in the stadium, so there's like walls all around us, and we're kind of low. We're in the ground.
Joking.
Yeah,
I've never
I don't
heard
think
of
it would
a
have
tent
happened.
without stakes.
But I also we had to be out of there by like 8:30 in the morning, and then I went and dropped him off, and then immediately got on the road and drove 2.5 hours to work. And then I was at this like event for work, and then I drove 2.5 hours back and picked up Bennett, and then today has been like or Sunday was like a relaxed day.
Nice.
I'm like
So you both were
catching up
busy.
on.
I was not.
Yeah.
You both were driving around, going to things, and I was out in my backyard yelling at an animal. Sweet.
And then after softball today, like I'm like my body's just beat up because I'm old. And then I had to go to my sister-in-law to help them move. Think of like what are the top 3 heaviest pieces of furniture you could think of?
Credenza, hutch,
Dresser,
buffet table,
lazy boy chair,
full china cabinet with the
china
2 pieces.
cabinet. That's why I said credenza.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, not today, but here we are. Hey, all right, let's get into it first. I guess to warm things up a bit, Ryan Reynolds got in disguise as Deadpool in a gray Deadpool suit, and not only
it was denim. It wasn't gray. It was denim.
Oh, denim?
It just didn't show up well. That's why he was joking. It was Canadian tuxedo. It was full denim.
That's it.
And the crazies are saying Jean Grey confirmation.
Yeah.
Did you just make that up?
What?
Oh, you just made that up? That was a joke?
No, I'm saying I saw that online.
Oh man. Wow.
No, he wore Canadian tuxedo because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he was, I guess, incognito, sort of like how what's his name? Bryan Cranston did when he was wearing the Breaking
A bunch
Bad
of people have
mask.
done that. Yeah.
Yeah. But usually they don't wear the actual thing they are. And he just went out there as Deadpool, and he also crashed the panel and as Deadpool in character, and asked if he could be in the movie. And then they told him, "Sorry, it's already filmed." Did you guys catch these bits? And what do you make of Ryan Reynolds doing the best he can to disassociate himself from all the chaos that happened?
His wife.
A couple years, yeah.
James.
He's distancing himself from his wife. Is that breaking news?
Yeah. I saw that. I saw there was some stuff that was going on recently with Wrexham and all this, and I was like, well, he's really beloved in that community and everything that they're doing over there. And I imagine he'll probably be back in okay graces for the most part when it comes to if there's new Deadpool content coming soon. But he did have a movie like come out like on Netflix or Apple TV recently, and it was just like nobody's talking about it like at all. So
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Maybe it's real. The boycott of him or whatever.
I think he's laying low like hard. He wasn't seen at court at all with Blake, not once. Him and Blake didn't go to Taylor's wedding. He hasn't been seen anywhere.
You're on top of this.
Yeah.
You're like our Perez Hilton.
You're welcome. He hasn't really been online at all. Like he's been totally MIA. So when he showed up at the panel, I was like, of course he showed up in a mask because he's trying to be low, but like still get those jokes in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they were gauging how people would react to him being there. And I think most of it was positive because people, his voice as soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, that's who that is. And he didn't talk to anybody on the show floor. He was just taking pictures. Like he wouldn't talk at all. But yeah, I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, like the truth is out of who he is as a person. So I think he's going to have to lay low for quite a bit longer for people to forgive and forget. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yes, I agree.
Movie was called Mayday. I think it was for Netflix or something.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of it. And I'm not surprised that his publicist probably said, look, we're not doing any press tours. We're not doing anything. He probably said that. And
Apple TV.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Shawn Levy was like, hey man, can you come to this panel for us because they're like buddies, and he was like, I guess, but I'm wearing a mask. I'm not like showing up as myself. Because could you imagine he came out on stage as a joke and everybody booed him? They didn't want that. So they did the best option, which was have him ask a question in the audience where no one's going to boo because they want to hear what he has to say.
Well, Shawn Levy may be trading him in for another Ryan even further. So we'll talk about that later. But we have trailers, and we finally have a chance to talk about the Avengers trailer. Let's get into trailer time.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
Let's start things off with the big one. Let's go with Resident Evil. I think that's the one that's going to break all the records. James, you had sent this our way. I know you're becoming you have been a big like horror movie watcher, and you and Rachel do that. You get together with friends and you scare each other and you watch these movies. I just have to say this. So we got a Resident Evil movie coming. It's like a reboot or like a new thing. You got Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian, which I liked, and Weapons, which I kind of liked. Hitting theaters September 18th. I saw the first Resident Evil with Mia Jovovich, and I hated that movie. But all I'll say on this one is this looks interesting because it seems stripped down. It seems more like a simple story. And I thought it was a really good trailer because it did get me a bit interested and make me want to watch a bit more. But James, we'll throw it to you here. Resident Evil, what do you make of the trailer? Are you a fan of the franchise, fan of the games? And are you going to see this eventually?
I will probably see the movie. I don't want to categorize myself as the big horror person. It's just between the three of us, probably me. Because I have a coworker who is like big horror person, horror person. And so like to listen to him talk about specific movies and horror and when it comes to this Resident Evil, he is in on this, and I thought, well, that's a, good sign that someone is sold on this. But I think part of the reason that he is sold is because they sort of nod at little things in the game without actually like really, I don't know. What is it like you're nodding and winking, but you're not like in your face about it kind of thing.
Subtlety.
Like, yeah, just a real subtle nods at little things. With there being like, green plants in the corner or like a typewriter, that kind of stuff. But I think like, I don't know if anybody's ever used the term, but like refresh, not like reboot or something, but like sort of like let's just, I guess reimagining would be the word here, but it just feels like you're bringing in someone who understands horror, and they probably have for many years been like, that's my golden goose. I would love to redo Resident Evil. I have an idea for it. Yeah. It's totally different. And I think that they are so far removed from the other Resident Evil movies, which, by the way, was really popular and successful. But they're just since done. I think like Mila Jovovich has backed away from it, said she didn't want to do it anymore. And they're just like, well, what are we going to do with Resident Evil? It's such a good franchise, a money-making possibility that we need to do something with it. And this looks like a good opportunity.
Right on. Lacey, what do you make of Resident Evil? Was it a good trailer? I know you're not big into watching horror, but what do you think?
I am not. This game in particular terrified me when I was little. I think it's like one of those like main memories of my uncle having a PS2 PS1. What am I saying? PS1. And he's like, yeah, I have all these games. And so like that game was in there. And so I thought like, oh, I'm going to play this. And you walk around the corner and there's a zombie and then you die. And it was terrifying. And I had it like in my and like I go back and watch that. What?
It has like a lot of jump scares and stuff, right?
Yes. So like you go around a corner and there's a zombie there and you're dead. Like, and it zooms up on the screen. It's
I can just picture like 12-year-old you with the anxiety during those jump scares.
Yeah, I think I was even younger than that, to be honest, because it was PS1. So I don't remember what year it was, but I have gone back since and watched that game, like a gameplay reel of it, and it's not that scary at all. Like, it's actually pretty dumb. So I was just like, oh. But at the time, it was terrifying.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about any video game, I've talked to my wife about this and other people too.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about scary video games, they're scarier than movies. And that's just definitive because movies, you can be removed from it. You can close your eyes. You can think about something else. You have investment in the characters, but you don't have investment in the characters like you've spent hours gathering things, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's so much to it, but you have to engage with video games. You have to make the choice to walk through this wall, like or into that room. And you have to be conscious and control the character into that room. And it's so much more engaging than a movie that when something as simple as like a jump scare happens, I believe that it is consistently more frightening than a person just watching a movie.
Oh, 100%. I was saying more like you look at the graphics now and you're like, that's not, he's got like a blockhead.
True, but I think people are scared, like, in the moment, like,
Yeah.
scared of, like, a dumb video that's like, "Hi, I'm amazed," or something, and then it's like, "Ah!" You know,
Yeah.
it's like, it can still get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hate those. Yeah.
This looks like a good trailer. I had just watched actually an interview with Zach Kreger. Uh,
Craig.
Kreger. Sorry, Zach. At San Diego Comic-Con where he was talking about the scene where Austin Abrams is running down the street and things are falling on the cars. And he said like he almost got severely hurt from that scene because that's
Oh wow.
it's not CG. To which my response is like, first of all, that's cool. Wow. Second of all, I was like, that kind of sucks that you weren't protecting your actor enough that like he didn't almost get hurt. But I guess what I'm saying is for me, when a director says that, like, oh, we pushed boundaries and oh, we did things that probably weren't the safest, it's probably going to be terrifying. And like the one shot where he's upstairs in the room and you see the woman running across the field, she's nowhere near him, but you're still like, oh no, I'm gonna
Yes.
die.
And
Yes.
they match the music to her footsteps running through the brush.
Yes.
And then that was cool. I
The
really
whole
liked
thing's like
it.
a ticking clock, you know
I
what I mean?
don't
You're like, "I've only got 10 seconds to," and I feel like that's the game because you remember back in the day, like, a zombie would come around the corner and
Yes.
they're slow. Back in PlayStation 1, they weren't necessarily running at you or anything like
Oh,
that.
she's
They would just come around and you're like, "Oh, crap," and you're, like, trying to pull out the gun and you're trying to get it up and prepared and stuff. That was the feel of the game. The terror was coming to you slowly, but you didn't necessarily have control of the movement of the room was weird and revolutionary. If you remember the cameras where the way
Yeah.
the game played, the cameras were positioned in such a way, which I very much expect them to play with that cinematography in this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't particularly think about it when I was watching the trailer, but it's something of note. That like, yeah, you sort of had this like static security camera view of rooms, and you were just kind of like steering your character through that way.
I feel like 28 Days Later really changed the whole vibe on zombies because none of the zombies ran until that movie came out. And then I was like, because even when I was younger, I was like, oh, well, I could get away from a zombie. They walk so slow. They're so slow. And now they like straight up chase you. And then that went into Walking Dead where they chase you. And I was just like, I would, I would die in a second. Like I'd be so dead.
I want more people to go. I want more studios or whoever's creatively doing zombies to move in either a different direction that we've not done in a long time, or to move into or back into they're
Slow.
dead. They're just dead. That like they
Oh.
like sorry, let me rephrase that.
We Bury the
Like,
Dead came out with
they
Daisy
come out
Ridley.
of the
Yeah.
ground, right? Kind of a thing, as opposed to a
Oh,
person who
yeah.
was alive who died and came back because
Night
a
of the Living Dead.
virus or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a rabies type thing that they go for. Like, oh, they got rabies and then they're crazy and
But there's more. So that's Resident Evil. And
Yes.
now we move on to let's go to another, horror style movie. We got DCU's next movie, Clayface, hitting theaters October 23rd, directed by James Watkins, starring Tom Rhys Harris and Star Wars Episode 9 alum Naomi Ackie. Lacey, I'm going to start with you on this one. What do you think of the trailer for the next effort from the DCU, Clayface?
I think that there are people that are going to really enjoy this movie, and I am not that person. This doesn't look like anything I'm interested in. I'm not really digging the whole Clayface morphing, has to take tweezers to cut his eyes open. This is another trailer I watched that I was like, I'm good. I'm all right. I get the vibe. I get what people are going for. It's a horror thriller, and that's what people are dying for with superheroes. I get it. I understand. Very popular comic. I'm not the demographic for this one. Sorry.
Interesting. Okay. I'll say this. I still haven't seen Supergirl. I know this is going to be more tied to DCU's Batman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hit or miss with these types of movies where somebody goes through this very slow, just loss of their self.
It's like Spider-Man, but like bad. Whereas Spider-Man gets cool powers and becomes buff.
Yeah, I was thinking of The Fly, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
Fly.
that's fair. Yeah.
And it's just like, he's like, I'm gonna try this or whatever, and then like you start seeing him slowly changing, and it's the slowness of it that is more disturbing to me.
Villains change slowly, and I feel like heroes change quickly.
Fair.
Yeah.
Because it's the dread that comes with the villain side.
Mm-hmm. I think it's getting worse and worse, and their humanity is being stripped. Whereas heroes, that you're more along the lines of like they get superpowers, and it's, I don't know, it just I feel like they speed up the process to get them to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it could be bad, like Hulk or whatever, like doesn't want the superpowers.
That's
so
fair.
They can kind of sometimes drag that out and be like, "What's happening to me?" kind of thing. But I feel like it's usually a lot quicker. In a lot of cases, they get like a suit or something, and then they're like, "I don't know how to control this thing," and then they can do it, and then they're better.
Yeah.
So, John, are you seeing this?
I think, I would like to see this. It's coming out around Halloween time, and I thought it was a really good trailer, actually. So I'm not too familiar with the actor. I'm sure I'll get shamed for that. I'm sure he's brilliant. But I'm more excited for Man of Tomorrow, of course, the sequel to Superman, which comes out next year. But this does interest me. So if I get a chance to go see it in the theater, it comes out 3 days after my birthday. I don't think it's necessarily a happy birthday, go see Clayface type of thing. But I think it's a good trailer. And like I said, I'm hit or miss with these types of stories. But because I'm rooting for DCU, I'm hoping it's good. So we'll see. Maybe if I hear early feedback, like if it just gets annihilated by critics, I'm going to be like, oh, crap.
I'm predicting that it was pretty good for the first 2 acts, and you lost me in the third. That's what I think people are going to say about it.
Based on what?
Just based on the fact that you have this villain who you're making the core character, and so they have to like do something at the end where he's like good and bad, probably. I don't know. I kind of get a feeling like this movie is not going to be like Joker, in the sense that people are completely like enamored with how good it was as a standalone concept. Though I do think it's a good play for DC, because it looks like a movie that you could say you don't need to know anything about the DCU. You could just be a horror movie fan and go see this movie and be like, I didn't even know that was like a character from, but what is it, Marvel? You know what I mean? Like you just could be completely oblivious and think that movie looks scary and it looks cool and go see it. But I think what they might do with that, what could be scary, is something in the third act that causes people to be like, I was sold on this, but now I just feel like it's a generic superhero movie or something. I don't know.
And we'll see what it ties to. Are they going to incorporate anyone else from the Batman side of things on DC? I don't think Batman will show up in this, but I like the Clayface stuff they did in Batman the Animated Series, so I'm holding out hope it's good. The trailer I thought was really good. But let's move on. We have Ebenezer, Johnny Depp taking the reins as Scrooge here in theaters November 13th, just in time for the holidays. Not directed by Tim Burton, but we have Johnny Depp making his return, and he had some interesting things going on at San Diego Comic-Con. He walked out in the middle of a panel, which I don't think was a good idea. But we do have a trailer, and we got the movie coming out. Johnny Depp on the comeback trail, probably coming back in Pirates as well. But James, let's start with you on this one. Ebenezer, Johnny Depp, are you a fan of the Christmas Carol story, the Charles Dickens story? And this is going to be clearly a darker version that explores how he became so crotchety.
This lame. I don't care about this at all. I feel like there's been so many stabs at this story,
dude,
that it's overdone to the extreme, and every version of it feels like it's like, oh, it didn't work because we didn't get someone crazy enough to be Ebenezer.
There's another one of these coming out, I think. There's another one. Keep going. I feel like after you said that, I just remembered.
I feel like I'm not sure why this classic story keeps being retold over and over and over again. I obviously like it when it's fresh and different, but this one to me still feels in the realm of like, I've seen it. I think it's like their outfits or something. Like if I'm going to see this story again, I would look like something more along the lines of like an a la Scrooged or something where you're like, it's that story, but it's in today's age. And that already would make me be like, well, it's completely different. You know what I mean? I'd rather see Johnny Depp, like a normal Johnny Depp, not normal, but you get what I'm saying. But like in today's age, be a bad person and be worse. I don't know that I want to see him play 80-year-old 1800s Johnny Depp or whatever it is. I don't know. I just don't care, really. It just does not look interesting at all.
I agree with you there. Lacey, I know you're a big fan of the Muppets Christmas Carol, right?
Ugh, one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, so, and to James's point, there's been so many versions. Jim Carrey did a spin on one. They've done Mickey's Christmas Carol. I grew up on the animated version. It's like 25 minutes. I still love that. Scrooged, like you brought up, there's been billions and billions of versions of this. So, Lacey, are you in the same boat as James, where you're like, why? There's no, even though Daisy Ridley's in it, and we love Daisy Ridley.
I love Daisy Ridley.
Is there a need for this? Are people tired? Yeah, I think they might be.
So I had to look up who is directing it. It's being directed by Ty West, who did Maxine, Pearl, X, and a bunch of other horror movies. And in my head, when I read that list, I said, oh, he's like kind of like Robert Eggers, who does all this stuff. The other Christmas Carol is being done by Robert Eggers.
So there is another one? Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah.
So an untitled Christmas Carol at Warner Brothers, because this one's Paramount, is Robert Eggers, who's did The Witch, The Lighthouse, Nosferatu, Werewolf, soon to be Labyrinth 2. And the Scrooge for him is, of course, Willem Dafoe, because he does everything with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And that version is supposed to more heavily be focused on the ghost story, psychological horror aspect of the novella. But I remember we talked about this on this show, John, where we said, oh, they're making one with Johnny Depp and they're also making one with Robert Eggers and Willem Dafoe. Yeah. So, yeah, just backing you up, James. Like, I think it's just one of those things that I'm like, again, another one. Because I'm going to be straight up. Like, there is not a better Christmas Carol than the Muppet version. And it peaked at the Muppet version with Michael Caine. Like, he played that so serious, so honest, like Oscar-winning performance by Michael Caine. Like, there's no argument there. So I can't see anybody playing this role outside of Michael Caine. And, like, Bob Cratchit has to be Kermit the Frog. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, I think this is stupid. I also think that they are very closely looking at seeing how people receive this movie with Johnny Depp. And this movie's going to lean a little bit more into determining if he does Jack Sparrow again. I think they're kind of up in the air with how they think people are going to handle him. And I think if they see the reaction,
such a dumb decision.
I'm telling you, because they're looking at San Diego, they're looking to see like, oh, are people happy with him? Are people supporting
You
him?
know
Has
what,
he been
though?
canceled? Like, what is going on? I'm telling
know,
you
but,
that
like-
conversation is happening.
Okay, but like Chris Pratt, do I want to see Chris Pratt as Star-Lord again? Yeah, sure. Are we gauging if I want to see him as Chris Pratt if he comes out to Comic-Con acting like an idiot as a different character
Chris
that doesn't
Pratt-
have, you know what I mean? I'm
okay,
like,
but
I don't
Chris-
want that. No,
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going
no.
to go see that movie. They're going to base that on
outside of, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying he was at a very public, serious abuse court case where he was
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
sued for hurting another human being. That is what they're gauging the public reaction on. I don't think Chris Pratt is a good example because he hasn't physically abused anybody. So when they're bringing this guy back, which he didn't lose the court case, he won it. I think they're saying, hey, he's been cleared, but I think there still is a public persona that needs to be recouped a little bit. So they're going to look at this and be like, do we want Jack Sparrow back? Which, by the way, regardless of all that stuff, that's personal stuff that has nothing to do with me, I still strongly believe that he should have won an Oscar for Jack Sparrow. It was like a cultural defining role that like he should have been honored for, which he wasn't, which is BS. But I would not doubt that studios are looking at this movie going, how are people handling this? Are they cool with Johnny Depp again before they pull that lever on having him come back? I'm not saying the conversations aren't happening. I just think that they're a little bit more, let's see.
I just don't see a world where they can make another Pirates movie and he's not in it. I guess that's
I don't
bring
think
back
so
Orlando
either.
Bloom and everyone else, then it's in that canon.
Yeah.
He's like 80% of the reason why people see those movies.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I think that'd be a big mistake by Disney.
Yeah.
But I couldn't care less about this either. And my last thing on it, because we're getting up on time and we got to get into Doomsday next.
I know, and James has been so hyped to talk about Doomsday too.
Dude, but Johnny Depp, he's not good at voices. I don't know like where this whole thing came from where they're like, well, we're just gonna have him do these British accents all the time. And this sounds like an older Jack Sparrow, and it's like almost like he doesn't even know what to do. All right, now for the big one, Avengers Doomsday, December 18th. You got the Russo brothers and starring every actor on Earth.
A lot of chairs.
We got a trailer. I'll start because I don't know that, you know me, I'm a DC guy. I didn't love Endgame. Shang-Chi's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and they won't make a sequel to it. So,
but he's in this.
I know, and apparently he has, you know, his character has, you know, there's implications that he can really help out against Doom. But this might be a hot take and whatever. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. should be playing Dr. Doom. I think that was a massive mistake. I think that was a PR thing. Unless they do some magical, weird, wild twist where he is tied to Tony Stark or is Tony Stark. If he literally is just Dr. Doom and he's not connected to Tony Stark, that they should have gotten someone else. They could have gotten any other really good actor and be like, you're Dr. Doom. He was Iron Man. He was Tony Stark. I'm surprised more people are like cool with this. And I know everyone loves Robert Downey Jr. and I get it, but I can't get past that. I know he's in the mask and all that. And I also don't know what's going to happen in this movie. And it feels like Follow That Bird, where like every Muppet and every Sesame Street character was in that movie to try to find Big Bird. And you're like, what is this plot? Every single actor is in this movie. They're all famous and they all kind of just look like themselves. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm excited for people who are hyped about it, but this trailer, honestly, it looks all right, but it didn't do anything for me in the way it's getting the response on like ticket sales and hype and stuff like that. So that's all I have to say about it. Lacey, what do you think of Avengers Doomsday?
Well, let's have James go because I remember.
Well, I figured James wanted to go last because he sounds like he's the one who's the most hyped about it, but.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go. My thought is that this trailer doesn't really say much about the movie. It does seem like one big cameo montage. It comes across very much like the trailers you find online that they say are the official trailers and they're not because some fan made it from a bunch of different clips from a bunch of different movies. Like that's what it comes across.
Yeah. Those are the worst.
To answer your question really quick, of why they used Robert Downey Jr. because he's getting paid over $100 million between this and Secret Wars. So easy money for him, like as a base salary. He's also
I know
getting
why he's
box
doing
office
it.
bonus.
I just don't know why he's doing it.
Because I think they're going to say that he was Tony Stark in the multiverse that then ultimately, instead of becoming Iron Man, became Doomsday. So then it brings back Tony Stark without it being Tony Stark that you know of.
So he's not Victor Von Doom?
Well, because the weird thing is that it could be that, or it could just be that he's just playing Doctor Doom. But according to the comics, at the end of this whole thing, Reed Richards like fixes his face or something, or like fixes who he is as a person to like make him whole again, so to speak. And if that's the case, then you're going to see it's Robert Downey Jr. So then you have to explain why he looks just like Tony Stark. It's just weird to me. I agree, which it is what it is. So you just have to take it that he's Doctor Doom. That's what it is. And all these multiverses are colliding into what will ultimately be Battle World with Doctor Doom, who reigns over Battle World. I think it's one of the the interesting thing about this storyline, which I had shared a reel from, I forget her name on TikTok, about her talking about it, like, hey, there was no build up to this. That's just kind of happening. And they had Kevin Feige actually respond to that social feedback and said, like, hey, we showed you two clips of Thanos and you were more accepting of it.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't show you that much, so there's not that much of a buildup. I would argue that that doesn't matter of how long you see him. The buildup of movies was longer. And I think that's the critique people are having. But it's interesting to me
was supposed to be the bad guy, but he ruined his career.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, ultimately to me, I read that as like they're listening and watching every single thing people are saying. Cause he even like quoted like old memes from back in the day that people would have about Marvel. So I appreciate that they're like reading all this stuff on Reddit and on watching stuff on YouTube. But at the same time, it worries me that once again, we're falling into that bucket of, are they listening to fans too much and not just making a good movie?
Right.
That being said, the trailer's fine. You know, there's a lot of fan theories around it already, like Captain America isn't Captain America. What if he's Loki? Look at his hair. He's wearing the clothes that Thor wore in the first Thor movie. Could he be a different version of Thor, a variant of Thor that looks like Steve Rogers? Like, there's all these crazy ideas, which honestly is a little fun as a fan. You're like, oh my God, what could it be?
Sure. Right.
But yeah, but at the same time, I'm interested to see where it goes. And I know that there's been a ton of like thrown out leaks and scripts and overviews of what these characters are, what's going to happen in this movie. And some of the stuff in the trailer has been reflected in leaks that came out 2 months ago. So people are worried. They're like, oh my God, like, did this movie just leak? Similar to how The Rise of Skywalker, a bunch of stuff leaked like July before the movie even came out.
He can confirm.
Yeah. So, you know, the joke is that Kevin Feige's outside of people's house with like a sniper rifle if you leak stuff. But I think we live in an age that it's sometimes just really tough. Like, people had posted full like video reels with ILM watermarks on it of the superheroes fighting Doom at the end. Like, I'm just worried that expectations are very high. I appreciate that people are already trying to push Doomsday, where you go see Dune and then Doomsday on the same day. I appreciate that. It makes me laugh.
That's clever. Yeah.
Will I go see this in theaters? Probably not. I just don't see the need to see it in theaters when I can just see it at home a couple weeks later, pay $20, eat my food at home and watch it on my TV. But I hope people that love Avengers enjoy it, including the guy that says I have the worst takes ever on Marvel. So I hope you enjoy it too, Guy.
Oh, jeez. That's exactly what that guy wants. That right there.
Well, I mean it when I said it. No.
So, James, I am going to guess that you loved this trailer and you were super hyped for the movie. Am I right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
This trailer's
Lay it on me.
perfect.
No, lay it
This is
on
great.
me. Let's go. Yeah.
This is like a drink of cold water being after walking in the desert for 8 years.
Wow, that's bold. Okay, I'm here.
Well,
I'm
the
listening.
thing is like we got these Marvel movies, they started and they went like 4 years, and then we got an Avengers movie, and we're like, oh wow, you can like do this. And I hate to like recap what Marvel has done for the movie industry as a whole, but like
Hmm.
the fact that Avengers existed was crazy to begin with. And then they were like, we're doing phase 2, you know, and they brought in new characters, and it led to the second Avengers, and then it led to Infinity War and Endgame, which some people like John specifically says like he isn't really a fan of. And I look at that and I'm like, that's literally like the best thing that could have happened for movies. It's an incredible thing that happened. I can't believe that these two people managed to pull it off. Absolutely incredible.
I understand. I appreciate that.
And so then after that, it felt like we went into a massive drought. Disney Plus came out, and we started watching all these shows, and like yes, we bought like the Fox and stuff got, I don't know, like a bunch of stuff happened, but like it's been so dead. It's been now longer, I think. I might be wrong on this, but it's close. It's like been longer since Iron Man came out all the way to like Infinity War than it has been since like Endgame to like the next Avengers movie, period.
Iron Man came out in 08, so
08 and 19 and
2012.
28 no.
2012 was
Infinity War?
Avengers.
No. Event like Infinity War. Like
Oh.
Infinity War or
2019.
Endgame.
That was the same year as Solo.
2018.
2018?
18. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10
So
years.
it was 10.
Like 10 years.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking like, all right, well, it hasn't been, I guess it hasn't been 10 years since, but it just like there's this huge gap where we just haven't gotten a culmination movie. We haven't gotten anything that leads up to that. There have been like slight versions of it, like the Marvels, for instance, but like
Or
that
Ant-Man.
was also like
yeah.
What Ant-Man? In what way?
Wasn't the what is it? Quantumania? Wasn't it a bunch of different people in that one?
Nope.
Oh, I thought there were.
I don't think so.
I didn't see all the Ant-Man movies.
But either way, like the reason Ant-Man was big was because they were sort of doing the introduction to the new villain and everything. But then that all fell flat because like we already were like, well, Ant-Man can beat him on his own. You know, it was just this whole thing, Kang and all that. Like, I don't know. There's so much that has happened with Marvel where I'm like, they're losing me. I just don't care about these shows. I'm not watching this stuff, you know, and it's like it's losing and losing and losing and losing. And then to finally see a trailer where I think it's a little overdone to the sense of like it's hard to really believe like Thor comes back and he's like, nothing has ever been as bad as the thing that I saw. And I'm like, okay, I know you gotta set it up.
Though. I feel like we're like on the outside and like let us know what that is. Like I feel like it's like
they showed you. It's Doom. You know it's Doom.
I know it's Doom, but I mean the way they show these trailers, I feel like we didn't get anything new. We knew RDJ was going to be Doom. We knew the X-Men were going to be in it. And we haven't even talked about that part of it yet.
Well, you say we're not getting anything new, but we've not seen any of these X-Men like in their I mean, we I
know, but we're seeing Patrick Stewart.
Like,
already seen him. We've seen Ian McKellen. Already seen him. And then
but those are just the people they tell you are in it, though. Like there could be tons of people that you don't know are in it.
We all know how this is going to end. We all know how it's going to end. They're going to. This is the last rendezvous for Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and all the old.
Are you saying this one or Secret Wars?
These two. So then you're going to try to use these OG characters who are getting everyone's butts in the seats to convince them to accept the new generation, the young X-Men, the AKA alternate universe version.
I think they've already abandoned that. That
No
was
way. They're
that was the hope
X-Men-
after Endgame, and it didn't happen.
The
They're
new
gonna get
Avengers
rid of
was
the new
like
X-Men.
Hawkeye, Haley Steinfeld, and stuff like that
I
didn't
know
pan
it.
out.
It didn't work out, and they're still involving these people in certain ways, like the Sebastian Stans, and I love her, but Florence Pugh, the whole what'd you call them? What's that
Thunderbolts.
movie they did?
Well, New Avengers.
New Avengers, yeah.
It's
Oh yeah,
Thunderbolts,
what
but
was
they
what
changed
was
the
it?
name
What
to
was it
New
called
Avengers.
before they changed it?
Thunderbolts. We're saying it
Thunderbolts.
over and over.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a lag in the internet, so I'm not ignoring you.
Okay, all right. Like we've
We're
said
not
it
live
probably
in a
6
studio.
times.
Every time you said Thunderbolts, I didn't hear it. So
All right.
We both said it. We were like Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
maybe
It's
you
the
both said it at the
Thunderbolts.
same time, and it erased itself from existence. I don't know. Just
must
like
have, which
I'm
was
saying
kind of the
upset.
plot of Thunderbolts, if you really want to get down to it.
Anyway, anything else on the Avengers Doomsday trailer?
Oh, so much more, but we can move on. Like,
Can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
Just to be a little bit petty. I hate the standing shots. I said it online, and then John sent over an article joking that I write for the Hollywood Reporter because they also said the same thing. I hate the staged standing shots. And someone pointed out like the Rocky Raccoon quote being like, look, now we're all standing around in a circle like a bunch of jackasses. Like that is literally in this movie again. And I'm like, why is everybody always standing around? Like nobody does that.
yeah, they do. They do when they're heroes and they're standing around discussing how to handle a problem.
There's
Especially
no
when a
table.
lot of them
There's
don't
no
even really
chairs.
agree. There was no table. There's no tables in that room.
And they're just like all posed. Like,
What do you want them to? Do you want them to sit down and sit around a table?
I don't know. Sue Storm's like to the side. She's like, I'm here with my husband. Like it, I don't know. It just was
I
a
mean,
little much for
look,
me.
I loved everything about it, man. I think they're setting us up for what we're gonna see in the movie. It shows like how characters get introduced. I have already pieced this apart where I can see where everybody's gonna go and what the main events of like how the team is splitting up and who they're gonna recruit, and when they get there, like what's going on. Like I love all of that. I'd love to talk more about it, but I understand just coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. They just dropped this a week early because I felt like it was sort of a polite thing to do. They're like, this is going to win. This is going to win Comic-Con. Everybody's going to talk about it. So let's drop it a week early. Let everybody revel in all of the internet, lore and whatever we do, and then San Diego Comic-Con can drop all of everything else that they want to do,
I think it was just
including
strategic
us.
move because they showed a trailer with more footage in it. So if they already played the trailer, no one's going to want to record it because they've already shown the trailer elsewhere. So they did something similar at Star Wars Celebration in 2016 with Rogue One. They showed the trailer, and before they showed it, they were like, just so you know, this is dropping tomorrow on Good Morning America, so you don't have to record it. And then they never dropped it on Good Morning America. But nobody recorded it because they were like, you don't need to record it. It's going to drop already tomorrow.
Do you guys know I saw a trailer for Rogue One before it came out on TV?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's a story for another time, but like, and I've definitely told it on the show, but like,
yeah, it might have been this one.
Wild to me. No, what? Oh, maybe
the one that wasn't supposed to go out.
Well, because it said good. It was for like tomorrow on Good Morning America, and they showed like clips of the stuff, and I was like, oh wow, that's really crazy. And then like it didn't happen, like or it was a different trailer or something. Yeah, it was.
That's
crazy.
what I'm telling you.
That was the
All right, well,
cut.
But I saw it on TV.
Yeah, let's get into what else happened in San Diego.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough, I get the point.
So Marvel once again ruled the weekend, and there were other big stories out of it too, but I mean, they were the main one. Interestingly enough, this first story, which everybody's going to obviously know about because it was everywhere, which is Ryan Gosling is going to star in Marvel's Ghost Rider movie coming out in 2028.
What?
The weird thing is this news dropped about an hour and a half before the panel. Daniel RPK or whatever his name is put it out on his Patreon that Ryan Gosling is going to be Ghost Rider, and it was an hour and a half before the panel happened. And I guarantee Kevin Feige was like, you got to be kidding me. So they did it with Josh Horowitz in the audience introducing the whole segment, because years and years and years, Josh Horowitz from the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, who gets like the best interviews, by the way, he has been pushing for Ryan to be Ghost Rider for like a while. And Ryan would go on the podcast and be like, oh, I want to be Ghost Rider. I want to do this. This is the thing I want to do. He talked about it with him recently during Project Hail Mary. And now you go look back and Ryan was lying. Like you can tell he's uncomfortable in the part where they're talking about it.
Yeah.
But another little tidbit about this is Shawn Levy from Star Wars Starfighter is directing the film. They both discussed it while shooting Star Wars and decided, let's do this. And they're also tapping into Jonathan Tropper. Is it Tropper or Tropper?
It's Tropper.
Tropper. He's writing it. So I joked online, like, are they just making the same movie twice? Because it's the same exact team. But the other thing that was very interesting about this panel, this section of the panel, is that Kevin Feige says he's seen the movie. He's seen Star Wars Starfighter, and he loved it. Now, of course, he's going to say he loved it. But the fact that I was like, oh my God, he's seen a final cut of this movie already. So what do you guys think? James, are you surprised by this announcement? Do you think it's cool, or do you think this is a pretty obvious casting based on Ryan's kind of Ewan McGregor buildup of, hey, we want to make this happen type thing?
I mean, I don't really know or care too much about Ghost Rider, so I can't tell you if Ryan Gosling fits that. I know that I like Ryan Gosling in pretty much anything he's ever done.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see him succeed. I don't know if we want to like actually really talk too much about the connection here with Starfighter and all that stuff, or save that for our other show. But it is definitely interesting that, you know, Feige has seen at least a cut or a rough cut, at least, of the movie, and thought that team.
Right?
You know, that's a
I saw
good
these tweets
sign
about
for
it, and I was like, is
Starfighter.
no one commenting on how
Well, this
Kevin
is a podcast.
Feige...
I gave a thumbs up.
I know, but I'm saying, like, online, everyone's like, oh, this is the introduction to Shawn coming out. I'm like, did everybody glaze past the part that he said he's seen this movie? Because that's a big, thank you for pointing out. That is a big point, is like, if he thought it was good enough to then take that entire group and be like, yeah, just do this over here.
Yeah, like I've seen what the three of you did over there. Please, yes, green light. We want that. Come over. So I just think that's a nice, good sign for Star Wars. But I mean, I like the idea of Ryan Gosling being involved in the MCU. That's very that's good. It reminds me a little bit of when we got Paul Rudd, where you're like, oh, is that going to work? And then like now that we have Ant-Man, you're like, yes, please.
I can't see anybody else. Yeah,
it's refreshing to have him come in and be Paul Rudd in the scenes, because it's funny and great. And if I could have Ryan Gosling just be in the scenes being Ryan Gosling, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm 100% down for this.
John?
Well, I just pulled up a quote from Jonathan Tropper. He said, going to this movie, you won't need to know anything about Ghost Rider, and you won't have to watch any Marvel movies.
I hate you so much.
So I saw the Nicolas Cage movie. I think it's like 20 years old now.
His wife is in it. Ryan Gosling's wife, Eva Mendes, is in it.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. That's why he married her? That's wild, dude. So I thought it was fun. I am a Nick Cage fan, but I guess the premise is he's a stuntman motorcycle rider who makes a deal with the devil, sort of thing. And it made me think, like, Ryan Gosling did just play a stuntman in The Fall Guy, so you know, maybe he used that on his, like, let me play. Look, I could do this. You know.
Kevin Feige specifically mentioned that Ryan Gosling did a banger, and then he went and did another banger, and he's about to have another banger come out. And if you look at the trajectory, that's Fall Guys, Project Hail Mary, and Starfighter.
Yep.
Yeah. And he may win an Oscar. We will see. But this is interesting to me. I like James. I don't know too much about the character, but man, Ryan Gosling. The only thing that bothers me, and we'll talk about it on TRB, is that I feel like, can we have Ryan Gosling for a little while and then you guys can take him? Like,
Because
come on,
he's
man.
going to get all the questions about
That's
Ghost Rider at the Star Wars
I
movie.
know, but it's like
Yeah.
we finally get Gosling, and Marvel's like, all right, thank you, because we were just talking about on Will of the Force, will Ryan Gosling stay and do multiple movies? And Feige's like, no, I'm gonna lock his ass into like 5 Ghost Rider things. So
And he's going to do it too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on TRB more, but that's my thought there. It's interesting, but
yeah. So other Marvel news out of the same panel was that, which by the way, I don't know if I said it, Ghost Rider is set to come out in 2028. So they're doing Starfighter in 2027, Ghost Rider, which is funny, Starfighter, Ghost Rider, in 2028. So they're doing back-to-back movies. And then also in 2028, they announced that they're doing Black Panther 3 with Ryan Coogler returning to direct the movie. And it's going to star David Johnson, who will play T'Challa's son, so the Black Panther's son, to take on the mantle of the Black Panther. He's known for Alien Romulus. He was a big breakout role in that movie, as well as The Long Walk that came out recently.
oh, I want to see
Isn't
that.
Mark Hamill in that, The Long Walk? Am I going crazy? Wasn't he in that?
Long Skywalk, I think.
I think The Rock was in Longest Yard.
You both suck so much.
Sorry.
No, the one with the walking, and it's like, kind of like a Vietnam War type thing where they get killed if they stop walking.
Right.
It's Stephen King book.
Mark Hamill is in that. He plays the Major.
Yeah, he's like the mean guy. He's the villain.
Right.
Anyway,
of the movie.
yeah, my response really quickly on this is like, that's great. I'm happy for them. It's coming out in December 2028, so they get a Christmas opening for this film. Yeah, I mean, I love that they're continuing on with Black Panther. I still stand by that one of the coolest shots in film is in Black Panther 1, where they have Michael B. Jordan walking in and the camera flips upside down and comes right to, and it's like the realization that like that moment's coming where he's stepping into the throne. It is such a good shot that it like is ingrained in me that like if anybody asks me like what's the coolest shots, I will always go to that one. But anyway, John, what are your thoughts about Black Panther 3?
I'm interested, especially I love the continuity. Like if they said we have a new Black Panther and then like it's not Ryan Coogler, I'd be like, Houston, we have a problem. But the fact that he's still owning this, you can tell it means a lot to him to keep this going. I think that adds a lot of like just capital to the stakes for it. I don't know the actors super well because, like you said, the Long Walk, and you just reminded me. I gotta see that because I think it might be out somewhere, but on digital. But I liked both Black Panther movies. I'm excited to see what they do with this, but. According to the article in Hollywood Reporter, significant time jump, as we mentioned. What does that mean for the other characters? How does that work? Does this have any connection to what's going on with Secret Wars and Doomsday and timelines and all that sort of thing? But the fact that you still have Ryan Coogler, that the audience seemed to receive it well at Hall H. So I'm down. Show me more. Yeah.
James, what do you think?
Oh, I'm definitely down. I mean, you're right about the time jump. I think that's a little strange. Like this guy, so it's like 20 years. I'm assuming. Like, how old is this guy, and how many years are we jumping to get to this? And the other thing that I think is a little strange then is like maybe if it's a significant time jump where they're like, well, this is 10 years ahead of everybody else, which is a little odd. At this point, has Shuri like stopped being the Black Panther? Because I thought that was kind of cool that like they went.
I mean,
that route
she's in Avengers Doomsday.
I know. So I mean,
Yeah.
we might get some answers there, but like my point is being like, okay, well that happened and they handed it off to her. I mean, storyline wise, that sort of makes sense, but also like in the real world, it was like kind of a big deal. Like they were like giving her that and letting her take that up. And then now Black Panther 3 is coming out. She's not the Black Panther anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll figure it out. That seems strange, but, that all said, I think my biggest concern is that timeline thing. I feel like Marvel ever since like we knew when Infinity War happened and then Endgame came out the following year. and they were like, well, it's 5 years later, you know, or whatever the time frame was. And then suddenly we're like in the future. And we're like, okay, so this, I guess technically this would take place in like 2023. That's kind of crazy. And then like from then they've been like trying to oddly get back but not. And we're in like, nobody can make sense of any of the movies and when they take place. They feel like they're still sort of happening in order, but like, are we still 5 years ahead? And now I'm just really confused, you know? And I think the Spider-Man thing is also confusing too. Brand New Day.
I have no idea what makes sense in the timeline for Marvel.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I just feel that's one thing that I'm hoping like happens with Doomsday, where they sort of come in and they're like, we're resetting things. Everybody's back. We're all here. Let's have a talk. Let's figure it out. And then we'll move forward from there. Almost kind of, but yeah, I mean, there's a new Black Panther. Great. We'll see where it goes.
There's such a sadness with that movie, though. Like, I still feel sad that he passed away.
Yeah, for sure.
Another big moment from the weekend was Spaceballs, the new one, the parody of Star Wars, obviously, but it did also parody Marvel panels and like the Star Wars timelines.
Oh, so great! That was really
that
well
they
done.
show at the Comic-Con. And the big thing about it was not only did they have a panel with most of the cast on it, Rick Moranis actually showed up in the helmet from the audience and got a standing ovation upon his return to Hall H. I know Josh Gad was there. He's the writer of this movie. Mel Brooks was not there. He sent a video message saying that he couldn't be there because unlike this new generation, he has to work on a Friday or something like that. Like he made some joke about like being old. They also said that he's not doing the gold paint. He will be yogurt again. But they did it with mocap. They didn't do it with paint. And then the other thing that Josh Gad said is that he's not playing Barf or Barf's cousin or anybody. Good. He is the species, but not related.
I see. I called that. I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Can't help himself. God.
Yeah. So he's the species, but not related. So I'm going to get some of the titles to read to you guys because it was just so ridiculous. And it made me chuckle out loud. Let me see if I can.
Other phases.
Yeah.
John, just really quickly about Spaceballs. John, this is my Doomsday trailer. Like this Spaceballs stuff. I'm like, I'm so happy. I think people love these jokes and these references and they really get a big kick out and they're very excited about this. I'm not a Spaceballs fan.
James, neither am I. I've never been a Spaceballs fan.
Is that true?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've been pretty outspoken about that on the pod back in the day. Like I don't try to yuck people's yum because I do like Mel Brooks and I'm a big John Candy fan and all that and Joan Rivers. Like they're all great.
We should unpack this for a bonus.
I never thought Spaceballs was that great.
Why don't we like Spaceballs? Is it too close to home that we're like you're making? That's not how it went. That's like we're mad on Star Wars' behalf or something.
I don't know.
All right,
so
Lacey, what are some of these?
Here are the phases that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con. Phase 1 is Spaceballs, The Schwartz Awakens, Spaceballs, The Franchise Menace, Spaceballs, Winnebago Nights, and Spaceballs Super Duper Secret Wars in 2031. Phase 2 is Dark Helmet Origins, a Spaceballs story. Dark Helmet Origins 3, The Youngest, Dark Helmet Origins 2, Even Younger, and Dark Helmet Probably Origins, where it all began. Then phase 3 is 2033 starts. Yogurt, Schwartz and all. Heroes of Druidia, Rogue Dumb.
Druidia. Yeah.
Rogue Dumb.
Rogue Dumb, that's my favorite one.
Mog, The Last Dog Standing, which I think is the name of Josh Gad's character. Spaceballs for Kids, in 2036. And then we just get a little crazy. Phase 4, it says, parenthesis, we lost count. Spaceballs versus Spaceballs versus Spaceballs. Spaceballs, enough is enough. Spaceballs, enough is never enough.
All right.
Yeah, Lone Star, Vespa. Then they have like little lines where they're drawing between the two, but they don't make sense.
Wrapped around the whole Hall H. Like
Yeah.
Well, they weren't just titles too. They were like, they talked about watch order, and then they were like, they went in like circles and all this, and
it says phase 6, phase 7, phase 8, phase 9, and basically it just gets to the last phase, which is Spaceballs the musical, Spaceballs the ride. Yeah, it made me chuckle out loud because I was like, oh, they are like basically poking fun at Star Wars and Marvel in such a way that it is actually hilarious, because some of the naming conventions are pretty dumb. Dumb.
The similarities between that and Star Wars is they revealed these and they're not going to make them.
Right. That's the other thing that's very in Marvel too.
I mean, literally that famous web thing where they announced all those things, like none of it got made.
Yeah. Oof. Do you guys have anything else to say about it? I know Rick Moranis, I was happy for him because I remember the last time we saw him, he got punched in the face.
I know. And his wife had died and he took a step back and all that stuff. I was so excited when I heard Rick Moranis was like unretiring, and then when I heard it was for Spaceballs, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Because you wanted him back for Ghostbusters?
Not necessarily. I just think
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
He's so damn funny. Like he can do an original comedy. He's so good. But
yeah,
I'm not trying to yuck you. I'm more excited for the next story. I'm all in on the next story.
Well, the next story is Days of Thunder 2. Jonathan Levine is in talks to direct Tom Cruise in Paramount's racing sequel. And this is with the Hollywood Reporter. So, John, why don't you take it away? Because I've never seen Days of Thunder 1. The only thing I know about it is that Ricky Bobby gets set on fire and he goes, "Save me, Tom Cruise." And that's like as far as my Days of Thunder references go.
And that's not even a Days of Thunder reference. It's just a Tom Cruise Scientology reference.
Yeah. Well, but it's also a joke because he's racing. He gets into an accident.
Yeah. I am very excited about this. I really like the first Days of Thunder. I don't know if they're gonna. Did Robert Duvall retire? I don't know. If
I have no idea.
Anyway, obviously Nicole Kidman's not gonna be coming back for this one, but I really enjoyed the first Days of Thunder. It was sort of like Top Gun for NASCAR. It's as simply put as that. So the fact that he's making another one, probably inspired by what he saw with F1 and Ford versus Ferrari, Tom Cruise is going to make at least a movie that is going to be really great action and entertaining. So I don't need to elaborate more. I'm very excited that there's going to be a Days of Thunder 2 for sure.
I don't want this to be called Days of Thunder 2. I want it to be called Star Wars Galactic Racer with Tom Cruise as the pod racing guy, and the whole story that we talked about with F1.
Now we're talking.
It's not Days of Thunder. You're not remaking that. Let Tom enter the Star Wars world and do the same movie that you're already going to make with the same storyline and everything. You're just changing out the cars for NASCAR. You're just putting him in a science fiction car. That's what I want.
Okay. So you're not in on Days of Thunder 2?
No, I mean, it's fine. It is funny that he is sort of doing didn't they say this to Harrison Ford? Like, are you dead set on rebooting every classic character you've ever done? He's like, you bet I am. Like,
you're damn right I am.
Oh yeah. The thing is like, it feels now that he has done a number of these sort of reboots of his characters, but every time he does it, it's good. So it's like, sure. If Days of Thunder is the one that you want to do, then go for it. But I'd like to ask you guys, is there a Tom Cruise movie you'd like to see him come back, assuming it's excellent, like just assuming it's a big, great Tom Cruise hit? What's a Tom Cruise movie that you'd like to see him do a sequel to?
Top Gun 3.
You want to see Top Gun 3? Huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Collateral. I really like
Collateral.
Yeah. I don't know how they would work that, or if Jamie Foxx would come back.
Oh, what am I saying? The one that he dies and keeps coming back with Emily Blunt, that they were supposed to Edge of Tomorrow.
Day After
Edge of
Night?
Tomorrow or Live,
Oh,
Die,
Tomorrow.
Repeat, depending on when you went
Yes,
to go see
when
the
you
movie.
saw it. That's the one I want a sequel to. That I'm waiting
Alright.
for a sequel to.
I've never
That
seen that.
was-
Is that a good one?
It was so good.
It's
I
very good.
loved it.
It's actually very good.
loved
Yeah.
it. Oh my God.
Alright.
It was one of those movies too, James. I don't know if you felt this way. Going into it, I was like, I haven't really heard much about this. It probably sucks. And I was like halfway through and I was like, this is epic. This is an
Yeah.
awesome movie.
It lands the ending. It's
Yes,
it's very
so
good. I think mine might be Rain Man, which I don't even know how you do it, but if they did a follow-up to Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, somehow, and it was excellent, that'd be great.
My friend's
Definitely.
dad directed that. I should send him a message on Instagram being like, James wants another Rain Man.
Your friend's dad directed Academy Award-winning Best Film
Yes.
1986.
Barry Levinson. Yes.
1984 Rain Man.
Yeah, I've held that Oscar. I've held
No.
it.
Have
Yeah.
you told us this?
I don't know. I held it once. It was very heavy.
1988.
It's so weird that I know so much about your friend's dad now by a quick Wikipedia glance. He's 84 years old.
His son is Sam, or Jack's brother is Sam Levinson, who does Euphoria. Same guy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get into Euphoria.
Neither did I, but everybody apparently hates Sam because they don't like Euphoria.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Lacey, what do you think? Days of Thunder 2, you gonna come to the theater with me and check out, just like I convinced you two to go see Top Gun 2, and that worked out for everybody?
Oh my God. You're never gonna let that go. That like, and then James, he has for the past several years said that like there's no way I'm a bigger fan than him of Top Gun Maverick, even though I'm like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And John's like, well, it's only your favorite movie because of me. And I'm
No,
like,
I never said that. 0% chance I would say anything like that. So get out of here. I said we probably joked that I'm a bigger Top Gun fan, like the whole entity of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that might be the case. John
I'm
is
a bigger fan of
1
2.
and 2, and you're a 2 on its own.
Because
But
one
that's
is
only
very
'cause Glenn
sweaty.
Powell's in it. No, I'm just totally
Very
made that up.
sweaty.
Glenn Powell's actually not even that great in that movie. Like, no, I'm being serious. Like, he's fine, but like he doesn't steal the show for me. But
He's gonna have a bigger part, I think, in the third one, is my guess.
someone posted his role from Scream Queens the other day, and I was dying laughing watching it.
I
forgot how nuts he was in that show, and that was one of his early roles. That like he's this like fraternity president that says absolutely horrific things, and he's like hitting golf balls into hippies on the quad. Just
Oh my God.
yeah,
By the way, I flipped through all of Tom.
yeah.
I flipped through all of Tom Cruise movies. I changed my answer. Vanilla Sky, 100%.
No, that
Amazing
movie sucks.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, we have to talk about it. Okay. I
Sounds
saw
like
that
a really bad Bath and Body Works perfume.
Oh, it's definitely a weird movie.
I love it. It's so
it's a
good.
mi-
I think
mind
about it
F.
a lot, actually. Still
Do you
today.
really?
Like, yes,
best part of the movie
it's
is
so
what-
good.
The best part of that movie is Kurt Russell.
You would say that, John.
I know.
You know what's really funny? One of my favorite songs is from
Did you know
Tom
he was
Cruise movie that
supposed
I've
to be
never
Han Solo.
Shut up. What a butthole.
No, one of my favorite songs comes from a Tom Cruise movie that I've never seen, Oblivion. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Oh my
I need to catch up on some Tom Cruise.
The M83 song, James, have you ever heard it called Oblivion? It's like in the night. Dun, 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 dun. So good.
That's from Oblivion, the movie?
Yes,
I didn't even
yes.
think about it.
You hear me calling,
Oh, dude, there's a
calling.
lot though. as
It's
I'm
so
scrolling through.
good. Oh my
I just
God,
heard
that song is
Cartman.
like one of You're such a jerk.
Are you gonna do karaoke at Boonta Eve?
No, I'm not.
You're
No.
gonna do I'm sailing away.
James, you know what the big joke is here? If I was actually a good singer, John would never know because I always put a voice on.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
But by the way, we did not mention that. We did mention Daisy Ridley is actually an Ebenezer, and I didn't know that till I watched that trailer. So Girl
Here's
needs
to
to get back to-
Ebenezer.
Why are we doing this again? I never thought about it.
And Rupert Grint. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Ron
someone
Weasley
wrote in the
himself.
Yes.
Someone wrote in the comments, they were like, look at all these washed up franchise people in one
Oh
film.
no. Oh no.
Come on, I laughed a little bit because it was like Harry Potter, Star
It's the
Wars,
end of the show. A lot
Jack
of people.
Sparrow.
Yeah. All right. That's it for the news, correct?
Yeah. Do we want to hold off on what you're watching? Because I watched 2 full series over the weekend.
Yeah, because I have a lot to say about the things I watched. I didn't even add it to here, but I finished The Hawk, and I have a lot to say.
I have to watch Masters of the Universe, so it gives me a week to watch it before we talk about it.
Universe. I want to talk to you guys about it. But
Everybody's
yeah, let's
posting clips of it.
But I think you'll like
funny.
it, Lacey. If I had to guess, I think you're gonna like it.
Did you like Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pine?
I never saw that.
Didn't see it.
Guys, go see it. Underrated.
I heard it's good.
Well,
I heard it's good.
It's very funny. It's entertaining. I wish Justice Smith wasn't in it, but other than that, it's good.
Yeah. Well, they're
He's
doing a
fine
second Masters in the Universe, I think, of the universe.
Oh, really?
So
They are?
I thought they were. I thought they announced that.
Probably direct to Amazon though.
I haven't seen that, so I don't know.
Je ne sais pas. I saw it somewhere, but people make up everything, like that Black Adam thing. That I was like, what? Why would they do this?
Yeah. And
James,
Midnight Suns.
You didn't see Masters of the Universe?
No, I went to the theater and saw
You
it.
saw it in the
I'm
theater.
saying I didn't see that they
said-
were doing a second one.
Because you said something, I don't want to talk about it right now, but you said something that I was like, man, James nailed it. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. That is it. So we hope you enjoyed our thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con, all those trailers we talked about. A lot of cool stories, and we appreciate you listening and watching, getting nerdy with us. So make sure you follow us, Nerdy and Nice Pod, on social media. Of course, subscribe to Nerdy and Nice on Spotify and Apple, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@TRB Podcast. And if you're able to, and you like what we do, and you support our podcasts, and you want to allow us to keep doing this, but also grow, you can follow us on Patreon. Support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/TRB Podcasts. Johnny Hoey for me on Blue Sky is where I try to spend most of my social media time interacting with folks. Also on X a little bit, but I'm usually just talking crap about baseball. But Lacey, where can people chat with you about all this stuff?
So, according to Forbes.com, Masters of the Universe set for sequel despite dismal box office. This is on June 19, 2026. And it says, Masters of the Universe seems to set to get a sequel despite grossing only $89.9 million at the box office. So that's where I saw the headline, was Forbes.
I'm down. I will.
Yeah, I am too. It looks good.
The music's
People,
good too. Yeah.
Nice. People can find me on social media at Lacey Gilleran. And next week, I will talk all about The Ultimatum, which was the craziest season yet for Nick Lachey. He was so silent in that reunion. He was like, what am I doing with my life? You could see it on his face. And then I also watched Outlast: The Jungle. So we'll talk about that next week.
All right, James.
You can find me on Instagram and X at Meyer Trunks. I was like, not Blue Sky. That's the only thing that's popping into my head right now.
All right. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week with another episode. And then this week is our last TRB before Rebel ScumCon. So join us live. We'll give all the details of what we got going on for Rebel ScumCon the following week. But we are Texas bound soon. And thank you all so much. We hope you have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next time right here on Nerdy and Nice. See you around, kids.